For as much as Democrats love to hate President Trump, and they think it is useful in firing up their base, they think it's useful in comparing him to other Republicans to get out their vote, they do know, or at least recognizing, that his style works. And two of the biggest blue state governors right now are trying to find their inner Trump. It's working better for one than for the other. Here's Gavin Newsom of California, J.B. Pritzker of Illinois.
Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom.
Today, I'm here to tell you, be angry. I'm furious. I'm furious that yet more innocent lives were taken by gun violence.
He seemed to want to appear to be angry, but you decide whether he actually pulled it off. It says everything, that both of them are ignoring Trump and it going right at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. A.B. Stoddard's here, associate editor and columnist at Real Clear Politics. So is this sort of the shadow primary on the Democratic side, a shadow primary on the Republican side?
Well, Leland, it's clear that Governor DeSantis is pulling into a close second behind Donald Trump and really could be a potential threat to him for the 2024 nomination. He's been the darling of the party for more than a year now, but now the polls show that he's really inching up closer to the president. And that I think, part of the Republican base is starting to feel that Trump is damaged, and they might still love him, but increasingly you see much of the Republican electorate ready to, quote, move on. On the Democratic side, there is great anticipation that Biden is not likely to run for second term, although he has to keep saying so. And I wrote today that he should announce early next year that he's actually taking off in order to just launch a wide open primary and rip the Band-Aid off. These governors are trying to become voices in the party with, as you've noted, sort of a more not combative, not mean tone, but a more confrontational tone, channeling more emotion. And this is certainly a direct sort of legacy of Trump, that emotions move votes. Emotions to Trump are far more important than facts. And the Democratic Party is really critical these days of Biden. Response to the draft leak about Dobbs and Roe from the Supreme Court on the 2nd of May. A lot of Democrats just say they didn't see a response from the administration. And so I think the potential contestants for 2024 think they got to show some rage.
Right. They want to show this fight in them. And that was, I guess, why J.B. Pritzker said what he said. We'll play the whole soundbite, and I want to get your thought on it.
If you're angry today, I'm here to tell you, be angry. I'm furious. I'm furious that yet more innocent lives were taken by gun violence.
It's almost hard to take him seriously. Just his face and his affect the whole time. It's like, I'm furious. I'm furious. And I'm wondering if there's a danger in trying so hard to be Donald Trump that you end up being inauthentic as who you are. And if Trump is anything, it's just authentic.
Well, Leland, this works for some people and it doesn't work for others. You have someone like Tim Ryan, who's running for Senate on the Democratic side, an Ohio congressman, who's very authentic. He gets emotional, he's empathetic, and he always comes off as authentic. Bernie Sanders, as grumpy as he seems, comes off as authentic. It worked for a lot of people. They really appreciated Bernie for Bernie. They felt that he was very convicted in his principles. I think Gavin Newsom seems to, as you point out, do angry a little bit better than the Illinois governor. But they do believe that the base is looking for a fight and that they need to raise the emotional level.
You think about going to Florida. Has Florida become the proxy for Republican America, and that's why you have, for example, Gavin Newsom attacking it almost as a bean or something?
Well, I do. I mean, DeSantis has been, bragging about being leading the free state of Florida. since COVID, and he has endeared himself to the Republican base because of it. So I think that anyone who wants to try to be the nominee of the Democratic Party in 2024, watching not only that Florida has been red since 2018, but that DeSantis has become increasingly popular there, is a potential, likely presidential contender, and that is a very critical battleground. They feel the need to try to take it on. I don't know, in a primary, what it's going to be like to be a governor of a very blue state trying to say, I will be the best general election candidate. But now,
it's a great point about
voters.
I'm thinking about Gavin Newsom specifically, governor of California. I got 20 seconds. Can you win a primary saying, hey, would you rather live in California or Florida right now?
That could be hard. But then again, the primary voting base on the Democratic side could be quite progressive and pick someone from a very blue state.
Yeah, the primary crowd are the ones who are out right now protesting in front of Amy Coney Barrett's house. That continues now through the dinner hour in Washington. AB, it's good to see you as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Leland.
Yeah, it's always fun. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.